Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I really appreciate you coming back to visit me. First of all, I want to say thank you for everyone who watched my first video. If you left a comment or even if you just clicked on it, thank you. That has been a real big deal for me because I almost talked myself out of making that one video over 100 times. So here we are. I'm so happy to be here with you guys today. Now, if you don't know me, my name is Latifa. I'm 50 years old, and I finally am doing something that I've been talking myself out of for so many years. Today, I thought I'd tell you a little bit about me, because if you're going to be hanging out with me, then you deserve to know just what kind of person that you're going to be dealing with. So, let me warn you now that I have tried just about every business known to mankind. You know, maybe not everyone, but I have tried a lot. And I don't know if I'm just an entrepreneur or if I'm just easily distracted by a good idea. You know, they call that shiny object syndrome. So, you know, that's what some people would say. But one of the businesses, you know, actually did make me pretty good money. I did pretty decent. And then one was a complete disaster. I'll tell you about both of those in a minute, but some of the businesses that I have tried is I've tried selling on eBay. I've done mobile notary work, which I still do today. I've owned my own truck. It's a big rig truck, and I have my own business. I've rented out my own personal vehicles. I've rented rooms in my home. I've made gift baskets. I was a massage therapist. I've tried online businesses. So I've flipped furniture. You know, the list just goes on and on and on. So every time I learned about something new or a new opportunity, I think to myself, well, maybe this is the one. Maybe this is the one that's going to get me rich. You know, maybe some of you guys can relate to that. So, you know, I was telling you that, you know, one of the businesses that I did actually did good. I made good money. And then one, you know, there was a complete disaster. Well, eBay was one of the businesses that actually treated me pretty well. I love to find new things or old things at like thrift stores and garage sales, things that people overlooked, and turn those things into cash. So that showed me that, you know, there's opportunity everywhere. And I fell in love with that cha-ching sound that my phone would make every time I would make a sale on eBay. So now, as far as the business that was a disaster, let's just say the idea sounded amazing in my head, and I thought, oh, this was going to be the one that made me rich. But it didn't, not even close. I spent money, I put in the work, I learned lessons instead of making a profit. So looking back now, of course, I can laugh about it, but it wasn't a laughing matter at the time. And, you know, everything that I failed at has taught me a lesson, but some of those things was a hard way to learn. I guess that's just being an entrepreneur, as they say. Sometimes you make money and sometimes you make memories. I think entrepreneurs, we have a special kind of optimism, though. We believe that, you know, every good idea, every new idea is going to change our lives. And some people, it will change your life, but, you know, sometimes it may change your bank account a little bit wrong, you know, in the wrong direction. But I've definitely have learned a lot. Even when something didn't work, it wasn't always a failure, I would say, but I did learn something. So every business taught me something in one way or another. You know, some may have taught me how to talk to people or how to solve problems, how to market, how to just keep going when nobody believed in the idea except for me. So it did teach me to, you know, kind of follow my own path. And I really wouldn't trade those lessons. Of course, there are a few lessons that I could do without, but overall, I wouldn't change it. One thing that I hope that you will learn about me is that I really do enjoy figuring things out on my own. If someone is looking for, you know, help on something, I'm always looking for ways to help them fix it. If something is broken, I'm trying to figure out how to fix it myself. You know, I'm always thinking like 3 steps ahead. I'm always like constantly asking myself, how I can make things better. So I think you'll find that out by, watching me on this channel, and because that's just pretty much how my brain works. Now, have I made mistakes? Well, of course, I've made plenty of mistakes. I've spent money on things that I really shouldn't have. I've started projects, more projects than I like to mention, that I have never finished. I thought I was going to become rich by next Tuesday, those type of things. But, I guess that's just life. But the funny thing is at the age of 50, I'm not embarrassed by it anymore. Those experiences, they made me who I am. And I think that one of the biggest advantages about getting older is that I've stopped worrying about, looking perfect or what other people were going to think. I'm stopped pretending that I have all the answers, and I'm just showing up as myself. I'm just being myself. So that's what I want this channel to be about. No fake luxury, no pretending that I have millions and millions of dollars, not acting like everything is perfect. So this is just real life, and I believe you're going to be able to see that, we're just having real conversations. We can talk about business ideas, money ideas, things that work, things that don't work, just everything in between. And then we'll probably, I'm pretty sure, going to share some stories with you that will make you laugh at me. But trust me, I've got plenty of those stories. So there's going to be very, very hilarious and more to come. So if you're someone who's trying to reinvent yourself, no matter what age you are, I don't care if you're 50, 60, 80, any age, and you're thinking, is it too late? I'm here to tell you that no, it is not too late. We're figuring it out together. We're going to figure this thing out. And so I hope you stick around. But before I go, I would like to hear from you. Maybe what's one of the businesses that you have wanted to try, or the craziest business that you've ever started. Leave it in the comments. Let me know. I'm looking forward to reading your comments, and I promise I will read them all. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I hope you have enjoyed this video. Go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and come back next week because I've got a lot more stories to tell. I'll see you in the next one.